Everybody in their seats? Okay. So good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
This is ours.
Who has Councilor Caldwell's?
I do. I have it. I have it.
You have him?
Yeah.
Councilor, go ahead. You have the floor.
You're not going through the other ones?
There's nothing on top. Oh, let's see. Public hearing. No, there's nothing there.
No, it's just up. Just the recognition.
Nothing there. Yeah.
Put the names in it, that's all. Okay. All right, so, for Counselor Caldwell, have item number 10. What is it? You speak on it? Aye.
Hi, Mike Messersmith, Human Resources. So item 10 is a continuance of our safety program. This is the slip trip fall simulator that we contracted earlier in the year. We just want to expand it to double the employees to keep working on our reduction of work-related injuries.
Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Jones-Rouser. And Councilor Montour for Councilor Majok.
Thank you, President Paniagua. Councilor Majoke has 11 through 26. Who has 11? Ann?
Hi, good afternoon. Ann Pordock, First Deputy Commissioner of the DPW. So 11 and 12, it's the authorizing of the sale of bonds for the capital improvement project for Dig 1 streetscape repair capital improvement project. It's a lot there. So basically, this is construction that goes along with TIP projects. So when there's a TIP project, there may be other work needed that goes along with that, and so we have to ask for that money.
Questions? Okay, go ahead, Ann.
Okay, 13 and 14. And this is issuance sale of bonds for fiber optic trunk replacement. So there's always fiber optic repairs that are constantly needed throughout the city. Could be age, could be infrastructure, could be a car hitting something, and this is the money that we need for that.
Go ahead.
Okay, 15 and 16. So this is sale of bonds, and that is for city-owned building improvements and reconstruction. So that's $800,000, and that is all the city-owned buildings in the entire city, hundreds of them. And this is our staff that constantly does repairs and remodeling on those buildings. All right. Do you want me to keep moving? Okay, 17 and 18. So this is sanitary and storm sewer reconstruction capital improvement project. And so this is a lot of money, but it's wear and tear, but it's also projects. So we have normal sewer repairs that happen, every day in the city, but this is also for sewer projects.
Okay.
All right, 19 and 20. So DPW road reconstruction program. So that's the big one. You all got the list that went in there. Do you have any questions about roads?
And the holdovers, do those get prioritized in the next year? Do they kind of end up at the top of the list?
They are included on the list. Let me see if. Yeah, they would be priority, but they're on. I did double check the list, and they are included, enmeshed in that list, but they do get priority in the 2026 year, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Questions, anybody on 19 and 20?
Jimmy, on 15 and 16, normally, that's kind of different. Normally, there is a request of what that money's going to be used for, but this is like, I know it's to be used for various buildings,
So let's go back to 15 and 16. And you
15 and
have
16,
No,
city-owned
16.
buildings?
Yeah,
16.
Yeah, Councilman Choke was, called me about that. He thought that it was unusual that the type of, is this the one? The type of, improvements wasn't listed for
Okay.
the buildings.
Kevin, it's the city-owned buildings. Counselor Majuk was
we
wondering
haven't
what
really
types
gone
of
for
improvements for the
did this one.
800,000, is that accurate? That Counselor Majuk was wondering what types of
Yeah,
improvements for the
yeah, he was
800,000?
just- Yeah, he had called and asked about, the type of improvements, is there?
Because there weren't listed.
Yeah, is there something specific?
Because it's really not necessary improvements. I mean, in the event that the new administration wants to do a build out, those funds are there. That's primarily for the HVAC system. Any unforeseen damage or water break in a building or whatever, like this is more for the overall maintenance of the facilities, replacing carpets, windows. If we find a roof leak, those are all the things we worry about when it comes to those funding, including the maintenance that we're going to have to do on a new building that we're going to inherit over at 1154 Fayette.
You might want to get in touch with him and, but.
I will.
Yeah, Joe,
All right. Yep, go ahead.
yeah. 'Cause he wanted to.
Joe Barry, First Assistant Corporation Counsel. I believe in past years, we've had an exhibit listing
Yeah, we
out the
always had an
improvements.
exhibit, but-
And the reason why is bond counsel needs to know what the useful life of the physical work is for the bonding process.
Kevin did mention 1153. There is a bond on there for 1153 already. So,
Could the clerk speak into the mic?
oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
So I'm just saying, so you guys gonna, provide a scheduled exhibit B or exhibit A, excuse me?
Something that breaks down the
Yeah.
prices, we
Yeah,
can,
for 'em.
certainly.
Yeah, that's what he wanted.
Thank you. Okay, Ann, where were we? 21?
Yes, I think you're right.
yes.
Okay, 21, 22. So this is the CHIPS reimbursable sidewalk project. So this is sidewalks that will be done at the same time and coincide with the street. So when you're tearing up the street, you're going to redo the curbs and the sidewalks at the same time, and that money is CHIPS reimbursable, and there was a list of that in this packet.
So this is outside of our regular list of sidewalks?
Correct.
Okay. So these are additional ones that are going to get done because of the road recon?
Yes, we are
Okay.
trying to really optimize the CHIPS funding to get more sidewalks done.
And
There's another pot of funding, via CHIPS and Marchicelli, Save for something, the number 4.
I'm not sure.
I'll get the information.
Okay. It's like-
Ann, can you get me a list of all the sidewalks that are on the list in addition to these for this year?
We don't, I thought we had, I was confused too about this list, so I don't think we have it yet, but we should have it shortly.
Thank you.
Yep.
And then, Ann, this one probably isn't for you. It might be for, I'm not sure who in the room, but we've had issues with our CHIPS reimbursement and not getting reimbursed 100% of eligible projects. There had been talk of creating a different ownership structure for the CHIPS reimbursement process. Was wondering if anyone had a update on that and where we were at. I know that there's been shifts in leadership and,
That's a great question.
thank you.
Good afternoon, Anne Marie Deegan, First Deputy Commissioner of Finance. Can you restate the question one more time?
Essentially, we know that we have not been reimbursed for 100% of our eligible projects with CHIPS in the past. And there was money left on the table, and we've been told that it's because there was no real ownership in terms of the process, that one thing happened in one department, another happened in another, and the coordination wasn't always there to get everything submitted properly and on time. There had been talks and attempts at streamlining that and creating a different ownership structure, and was wondering where we were with that whole
Happy to report
endeavor.
that has happened. My team works directly with the group over at DPW to make sure all of that stuff gets aligned together and those packets are turned in. I can report today that we have submitted all funding that we have had in the past. We're basically at 0, so whatever funding we get this year, we'll be starting. We've cleaned up all of the stuff from the past, so we are, whatever money we get from the state this year, we will finish out last year's season of work that we didn't have funding for and proceed with this year's work.
And
So they don't owe anything.
They don't owe us anything. Like, we just submitted in February, just last week, our last claim for the money that was still, quote unquote, outstanding, but everything else has been, we've requested and received.
Okay.
we've got, I guess, before you leave, Anne Marie, we've got a better system in place now to make sure that doesn't happen again
Oh, yeah,
moving forward.
Definitely, absolutely.
And how is it different? What does that look like?
I think there's just, we have less people involved in the mix, so there's two people that sit at DPW that kind of manage, help with Neil and all the folks over there at DPW to make sure that they get the right information to provide to the person that sits in my office that then compiles that to turn in. So we're having monthly meetings about where things are in the process, and we have a shared document that is now set up, and the vendors are now submitting pictures, which has been a struggle for us, but now they're taking the pictures and labeling them, so a lot of the work that we were trying to run around and chase especially this past year, has greatly reduced.
Good to hear. Thank you.
Me too.
Okay, that leaves us to 23.
Yeah.
Oh, did you have questions, or?
No, go ahead.
No, okay.
We're good.
All right, 23. Neil, I'll hand it over.
Good afternoon, Council. Neil Park, DPW. These are for our recurring term agreements with outside engineering firms. They provide a number of different services for us related to technical expertise and engineering services related to traffic service. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. 24.
Good afternoon, Beth Smith from City of Syracuse Water Department, Management Analyst. Item 24 is to extend the contract with American Leak. We have utilized them in the past. They help locate any leaks going on throughout the system.
I have a question.
Sure.
Do we know how much we are saving from detecting and fixing the leaks in terms of financial resources?
How much we're saving? Well, we're locating the leaks before they get worse, which is wonderful. We're repairing them, ASAP. So I couldn't really put a number on that at this time. I could certainly look into it.
They're the monitoring system, though, so, correct?
I'm sorry, what?
They're the monitoring portion. They monitor where the leaks are. Like, they detect where it is.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
So I'm just,
They have specialized equipment.
yeah.
Right.
Is this on our pipes or valves, or is it on a car that we ride around in?
It's throughout the distribution system on the conduits and the services and water mains, and they have special sensors that
Yeah.
they will
Yeah,
locate.
they did this, they said that last year. So that's what I'm just saying, like,
Right.
is the question that we're saving here because
I'm just
they're monitoring.
interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so if we don't find the leaks, we lose water. Water is money and time and resources, and then the leaks get worse and we have worse disruption. As a cost benefit analysis, if we weren't doing that, what financial position would we be in? And we're doing that, so we're saving money and infrastructure. I just want to situate it in context.
Sure. It's certainly saving money. If once the leak gets larger, it's more people out of water, bigger reconstruction, bigger.
I guess I was looking for the volume of water and the cost savings from what they've done for work for us before, but I don't need
We
that
do
right
have
now.
annual reports. I could certainly, look into that for you.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Sure. Item 25 is to extend the not-to-exceed amount with our printing services. We do have required EPA mailings we need to do. So it's increasing the not to exceed amount.
Okay.
Is that mostly driven by the lead situation?
Recently,
That extra cost?
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Item 26 is really just changing the name of the owner on this property that is requesting permission to cross our right-of-way. We came to you previously.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
you.
Beth.
Are you all set?
Yes. No,
Coun-
20,
Oh, no,
27.
are you going to take that one too,
Yeah,
27?
27.
Good afternoon, councilors. Mary Robison, city engineer. This item goes with item 39, where we're requesting a revocable permission to Axon Enterprises to construct, own, operate, and maintain citywide deployment of license plate reading cameras.
Okay. So we have a committee meeting on that on Friday at noon, so we'll hold off on that because 39 has to go for 27 to make sense, so.
Okay.
Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
Yep. All set.
All set. Councilor Aaron Rich.
I have items number 28 and 29. 28.
Good afternoon, Saisha Bird, Commissioner of Parks. We have one item. 28 is agreement with Dan Grover's DBA Olympic Tree and Landscape Management. They're going to be teaching a basic chainsaw operation training at Heath Park on behalf of Onondaga Earth Corps. So it's a 2-day training. They are insured, but it's because it's in Heath Park, in one of our parks.
Okay.
Any questions? Okay, thank you.
Number 29, I'm introducing a local law to be introduced and tabled. You have amended language in your packet that was just handed out.
Katie, can you speak into the mic?
Oh, shoot, yeah, Councilor, right, reminded me. Yeah, I would change the short title to reflect the revised letter and ordinance.
Thank you.
Are we going to table this for,
It's local law.
It is automatically tabled.
Okay.
It would be tabled.
all right, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Nave.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 30, 31, and 32. Number 30 is with Veal. Mr. Hoover, did you want to? Someone from the city as well? We'll have both. Okay.
Good afternoon again, Council. Neil Burke, DPW. Yeah, item 30 is to renew the contract with VO Ride. We had a committee meeting this morning on it. I believe there's been a large amount of outreach, but we're here to answer any questions. Representatives from the company are also here.
Any questions? Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll hold that for Monday. Number 31, we have.
Good afternoon, councilors. 31 and 32 are fairly straightforward items. They are a grant authorization request, seek authorization to apply for 2 different grants, and they are complementary of one another. One is with New York State DEC, the other one's with National Grid. And the focus of these grants is to fund electric vehicle charging infrastructure. The city, while there is private EV charging infrastructure in the city, there is no public EV charging infrastructure. So our intent was to apply for both of these grants. The combined funds could fund a project, an implementation project in Progress Park to install 2 level 3 chargers, kind of the highest premier level in the park. The item, and I've discussed the item or the situation with a number of you over the last few days, is there's a third item that was originally on the agenda, and that was a waiver of competitive bid. And that was to work with a contractor who has expertise in not only applying for these grants, but really implementing the projects. We do not have any staff here at the city that has the expertise to apply for, to purchase, to install, or to maintain this type of infrastructure. So we're looking to do this pilot project with a partner with a proven record upstate to do this work. And really, it's a turnkey project. A couple of highlights, no cost to the city. They have worked with over 40 municipalities in upstate, the company that we're requesting, this waiver with. It would be publicly accessible chargers. This is an opportunity to fulfill what, during our Progress Park redesign, which we had public engagement, we heard that EV chargers, electric vehicle chargers in this public city park would be a great addition. So between the lack of expertise, no cost to the city, revenue positive infrastructure that people in this community are looking for, we had proposed this package, these 3 items, both the 2 grant authorization and the 3rd item for the waiver, as a way to facilitate this entire project. And obviously, we emailed you last week. We had a follow-up from Councilor Moore. And then on Monday, I talked to Councilor Nave and the clerk in more detail. Obviously, that item's been removed from the agenda. And
So Jacob would lead the grant writing for
Correct.
these two projects.
That's correct.
And if we don't get it, then nobody gets anything.
No, that's correct.
So there's no
There's no cost to the city. And I think
for them
perhaps,
to get involved in the writing the grant.
That's correct. And if we were to typically to have somebody do grant writing, it's a cost. And this is an opportunity to do it, get the grants written and the technical specifications, the specifications and standards. Again, the city does not, this is not snow plowing, this is not masonry work, this is not HVAC. We do not have this expertise in-house. So while this is a unique situation, and I think we can all agree on that, it's one that we cannot do in-house. And so we need these additional services to do the work.
So I had a chance to deep dive this a bit this morning after talking to the clerk and you and a bunch of other people. Is Stephanie Pascal here? Because I'm a little bit confused, and I think you were around during the time. So is this like the Save the Rain money that we got years ago, where we get into contract with the company that's going to do the chargers because they have the expertise to file the grant? They do that, and if they get the grant, we get the chargers. If they don't get the grant, we don't get the chargers, and there's no money out of pocket.
Correct.
If we don't, and this is my big question, if we don't waive the competitive bid, do we have to pay to write the grant and then put money out of pocket for a grant that we might not get?
Correct. Normally, as Owen was indicating, if you were doing some large, securing of some assistance, the specifications, like you mentioned, aren't just, we're going to buy some computers or whatever. It really has engineering calculations that have to be accounted for, how much wattage, how much usage, and let the city of Syracuse know what that entails. For us to have procured those resources, we would miss these 2 grant deadlines, first of all, and we would have out-of-pocket expenses to have someone write and cross our fingers that we get it. Like you mentioned, much like the Save the Rain program, there used to be a lot of technical advisors and engineers who would help write these grants because of all the calculations that are required, and then with the proceeds of the grant, cover any fees associated.
So ultimately, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I would agree, like that we should be RFPing everything we possibly can, but we were also in the same situation with like the for the lights for the parks. Is that the same kind of thing where we put out we hired somebody to actually file those grants for all that LED lighting and all that? Like it's almost the same thing.
The solar lighting grant from the Department of Energy, we did in-house. That was not something that we waived anything for that.
What's the deadline for these 2 grants?
It's the end of the month, the 27th.
One of the
I should mention that one of the grants is a rolling application. The other grant, the New York State grant, is the 27th. Combined, they really kind of go as a pair, because if we don't apply for both, then we'd be on the hook for whatever grant we don't apply for.
So the vendor we'd be looking for, it's not just simply a vendor that comes in and sticks these chargers into a spot. We're looking for a vendor that can actually write the grant, help write the grant.
Write the grant, design the project, procure the chargers, organize the installation of the chargers, and then perform maintenance for 5 years.
It's not just a simple
It's soup
vendor.
to nuts with one firm. So it's committing to working with this firm. That said, they have a list of communities from Buffalo to Albany that they've worked with. I've called some of those communities as a reference, and they've had positive reviews. They said it's a way to implement this relatively new technology, it's new to Syracuse, and do so with a partner that really knows how to do it.
Who gets the revenue from the chargers?
The city.
Counselor, I think we should talk offline with it because this is more of a procurement issue. So I think we should talk more offline.
I would be interested in adding this back in, though. I did some research, and there are only 2 addresses listed as Syracuse on the Make Ready contractor program, neither of which lists grant development as their
Correct.
specialization, one of which is only commercial tracking, and the other one has a single EV installer on their staff. They do not seem equipped to handle this. So if I completely agree with the dominant both gripe that we don't get this information ahead of time in order to make a reasoned decision on grant applications we can support and what the city's cost-benefit analysis will be in the future. And I would like city staff to take that under advisement for the future. But I don't know that we lose anything not doing the RFP process this time, as long as, again, we are reiterating our commitment to having fair and open RFP processes for the future.
Understood.
Is that something that you feel?
What's the name of the company that would do this?
Jacom.
Jacome.
Jacom.
Yeah.
And they're not local, right?
I believe they're out of Canandaigua.
They're at Canandaigua.
Buffalo.
Okay. And are they a company that is inclusive? Because that's the issue that I had, that we need to promote. We need to promote minority businesses, and we need to support union workforce, too. And that's one thing I want to see out of the administration, that we do emphasize, that we're not leaving someone away from the table. And that's
building
my
capacity.
point.
Building capacity for vendors we would like to work with in the
Yeah,
future.
right. And obviously, capacity is an issue, as Counselor mentioned. We don't believe there's anybody not only in the city, but in the county that can do the full scope of work that I explained to you, which is really start to finish. It's a situation that these other communities have said, we've taken advantage of it. I talked to one yesterday that said, we did kind of a pilot project. We've gone back multiple times because it is fairly seamless.
Quick question for you. After the 5 years is up, what do they charge per year for the maintenance? Do we have an idea of that?
No, the city would be responsible for it. One of the things that we've talked about internally is some of the revenue from these chargers could be directed to an account to do just that, to maintain that. Because we do even very conservative estimates, we expect this to be revenue positive.
Okay, so I want to echo Councilor Ehrenreich's suggestion that we get more turnaround time so we understand what it is, because the way you're explaining it now, I understand why we're doing what we're doing here. But I think we need more time to understand that and have conversation.
I commit to all of you to do that, to provide more time. We had our first conversation with them in December. We did a site visit in January. So I don't have, agreed, more time would be beneficial to everybody, but we're presenting the scenario as it is. And
I have a quick question before we move on to the next item. So if we get these 2 grants, so basically it's at no cost to the city.
Correct.
What if we don't get the 2 grants and we only get 1?
We would presumably not move forward. We do not have funding. I guess it depends how much is that gap. That's a conversation we could have. The project combined is over $400,000, so not something that could be quickly or easily filled by our budget at the very least. So,
Is the budget director here? Because I just was wondering, is it good practice to waive the RFP process?
Good afternoon, Councilors. Evan Loving, Budget Director. Sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, I just wonder, is this good practice? I mean, we're looking at not having funds, and we asking the council to enter into agreement. So I just want
to clarify, though, we could get both of these grants and then turn around and decide it's not in the best interest of the city and return the funding. We have always the ability to say we don't want money that will generate revenue for the city into the future.
It's not the grants. It's not the grants.
I understand, it's the RFP
Yeah,
process,
Yeah,
and-
that's all. That's why I was
yeah.
asking how, and like the counselors, do you think it's a good practice? And that's the only thing, this information, if you think it's a good practice, it's good information for them.
we want to be more transparent. Like you said, we started this at the end of December, and now it just comes to us. It would be nice if alert the counselor and say, hey, we're working on a project. Do you have any opinions? And so I think we have gotten items before, and it was like, it was dropped on us. And it's like, take it or leave it. So we want to digest everything that we get. And if you're planning something now for 2 months, let us know about it, though. I think, all of us, though, and go over this, okay? Thank
Yeah,
you.
and my comment will be, we obviously would always prefer to have a competitive process for procurement. Not every scenario makes that a possibility for us. Timeline is one of the number one factors. So we are actively working on making our procurement as effective as possible, which will hopefully reduce the number of times we need to come to the council for waivers. But there will be moments where the opportunity exists, and it'll be to the council to decide if the benefits outweigh waiving the RFP.
Ethan, why was Progress Park the pick location?
I'll turn over to Owen.
This was identified, one, it's a publicly accessible place. And when we did the public engagement last summer for the redesign of the park, which I think generally, and happy to share some of that with the council, it was something that people called for. I think that the redevelopment, greater redevelopment of the Inner Harbor, we've got new access from 81 off Clinton Street. We have a county-led aquarium project. We have a variety of development projects in the Inner Harbor, and we've got a public park there. And this would be an amenity to offer in a park.
Well, I mean,
And
when I hear it at one location, to me, it seems that it would be more feasible to be somewhat in the city center, where there's more access to everyone versus, individuals driving to possibly from certain locations to one location when you can meet it in the center. That's just my thing. But.
Or even if after we do the pilot project, if we could look at other city parks like Kirk Park, where there are growing amenities and people could charge their car while they are using the creek walk and the basketball courts, et cetera, it would be really wonderfully located.
Yeah.
The problem, sorry, nerd alert.
I agree, Counselor. This is a place where technically it's feasible. We've had public input about it. It has a relatively large parking lot that would be a good fit for this. There's a couple basic logistics that just were a good fit, but I don't disagree that there are numerous other locations. And as the counselor said, perhaps we're looking at this as a pilot, and this could be something where we do it in a half dozen other places over the next few years.
So just so that we understand, so the waivers of the RFPs is something that we can look at it independently. It cannot be the rule, it has to be the exception.
Understood.
That's our message.
Understood, and heard loud and clear, and I think Evan reinforced that. That's not something that I intend to be back with, in front of you with anytime soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so Madam President,
wait,
we'll hold these items hold them for Monday?
Yeah, Monday is, it's not
We're
about
voting. Yeah, we're voting.
Right, and the study session, we'll hold for Monday.
And I guess just to put a finer point on it, is the waiver,
Probably can talk after
Okay.
the meeting with that.
We'll talk about it.
understood. Thank you.
Okay, thank
But
you.
Marty, the applications, you're gonna.
Right.
Yeah, ready. Okay.
Yeah, if there's no other questions, we can go back.
We're gonna vote.
Oh, this is now, okay. Are you all set?
I'm all set, thank you.
All righty, so Councilor Moore.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 33 through 38.
Councilors, First Deputy Chief Rich Trudell, Syracuse Police Department. Under items 33 and 34, we're seeking authorization from the council for the issuance and sale of bonds in the amount of $1 million out of our capital plan from 26-27 to complete our move to 1153. I know you have an appendix there, but I'm happy to go over each one of those items within that appendix and what that money is planned for. So we have money planned for our movers. That's going to actually move the fire department and the police department from the PSB to 1153. We also have gym equipment in there as well. We are definitely planning on moving our, what we call our traditional gym equipment, flat benches, single body workout machines, from the PSB to 1153, but we're also seeking funds to create a functional fitness gym that's whole body oriented. It helps with injuries, it helps with officer wellness. So that's one of the items. One of the items is also a radio antenna that would go on top of the building that will allow our base stations within each floor of the building to reach 911 and our cars. Signage is another one, both interior and exterior signage in terms of public. When they come into the building, what entities are within the police department, and signs on the doors. CHA, that is our project manager on the project, that would complete the balance of that project management. There's a tactical training shoot house in there. That's an indoor simulated training facility. It looks like literally like a house, room clearing, simulation guns. One of the ultimate and final decisions an officer can make is the use of deadly physical force, and this takes the training from the classroom to the actual environment and provides reality-based situations that officers can work through as a team or individually and navigate those situations successfully. Audio-visual equipment, that is for our ComStat room, our smart boards. There is a museum budget of 20 grand. That is for police and fire combined. It'd be the public entrance, an area where all of our fallen officers and firefighters are displayed. Things from the past are in a cabinet case. And then we also have some money in there in the amount of close to $204,000 for anything that might come up between now and then. One important point is that we will not bond for any of the money we don't spend. So, for example, we're asking for $1 million. If we only have $700,000, we're only going to bond for the $700,000. It's not the full amount.
Question on the tactical training room?
Yes.
So no bullets?
No bullets.
No
It's
bullets,
simulation ammo, though, just to be clear. It's not lead. It's not, but you don't want to get hit by one of them.
Fair. But there is a reoccurring cost to that. It's not a simulation without, you're going to be shooting something that you have to buy more of.
Yes, yeah. So the room is designed so that it can change, right? So that's just one-time cost. You can change the rooms around. The ammunition, the guns, the stuff that we use in that shoot house has a life and a use that would have to be replaced. All set?
Yep,
All right, thank you.
You all set?
Yep.
All righty, then, item 39, Councilor Monto.
Gotta do 35. 35 to 38.
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
35 to 38.
Sorry. I thought we were.
Hello, Common Council, how's everybody doing? I have items 35 through 38. 35 and 36 is a request to authorize and bond for a purchase of a new hazardous materials apparatus. I'm requesting this apparatus because our current one was bought in 2010. It's currently 16 years old. If approved on Monday, it's going to take 4 years for this to come, so our current apparatus will be 20 years, and it's already past the life that we want it to be. When this apparatus is dispatched, usually there's something really bad going on. We get dispatched with this apparatus for like chemical, biological, radiological, explosive incidents, unknown substances. They're the ones who go and mitigate any of these hazardous conditions. And this vehicle is basically like a toolbox on wheels with specialty equipment to deal with all those hazardous materials.
Chief, question. When you're going to fund something like this, are you getting several different specs written by different companies to compare?
We buy off of a contract. So the contract is as low as it's going to get. It's off a program called Sourcewell or HVAC, but it's on a contract. So you can do RFPs, or if you have the contracts are in place, so you don't have to RFP. They already have been vetted. All the different things you need to get off the contract are already in place. But our maintenance division, our particular team over there, they are subject matter experts. They actually help other departments purchase their apparatus and things like that. So So to your point, we have specs, but the specs are chosen off of the Sourcewell contract, and we pick right off that contract. That's how we buy all of our fire trucks.
Thank you.
Chief, I have a question.
Yes.
There have been an increasing number of train derailments
Yes.
resulting in hazardous waste materials spillage over
Yes.
the last 10 years and
Yes.
20 years. Do you feel that we're adequately prepared for an eventuality like that in Syracuse?
Yes, we have a ton of targets that are related to hazardous materials in our city, and I didn't mention trail derailments and those types of things, industrial buildings, commercial buildings, but we have a Type 1 hazmat team, which is the highest level in New York State, so we have the best trained technicians when something like this happens. I think the next closest would be Rochester. They have a very high-level training team also, but we're as equipped as we can be. But when something like that happens, we do call in the state. We have tasks force throughout the state that we kind of team up together, depending how large it is, based on a mutual aid plan. That's a state law that, so, but I hope that answers your question. Does anybody else have any questions? And the next item, 37 and 38, I believe. Those are for our ground ladders. This is just to be able to replace. We have like 197 ground ladders. This usually was in our operating budget, but the supply chain lag on purchasing them are 18 months. And so if we were going to buy it inside one fiscal year, what was happening is we'd order them. They wouldn't actually come till the next fiscal year. And so the money that we had budgeted, you would lose it, and then I would have to rebudget it. So in the capital plan, it'll give us time to order and secure them. It's an 18-month lead time on these ladders. So does anybody have any question on these? And these ladders are on all of our fire trucks. Every fire we go to, we throw ladders to every part of the building to make sure we can ventilate, rescue people. They're a critical part of our equipment. Anybody have any other questions?
Chief, those ladders, how long do those last roughly?
So they are, depending on the usage and how the wear and tear on them. So we have a third-party company that comes in and tests them. We have different types of ladders, extension ladders where you raise them up to 3 stories, 4 stories.
Yeah.
We have ladders that we put on top of a roof, a peaked roof.
Yes.
The majority of the ladders that these are going to be, or the majority of this funding is going to be for the roof ladders, because we have firefighters that go on the roof of a building at every structure fire, and they cut a hole with a chainsaw, and like sometimes they nick the ladder, sometimes those get in bad repair pretty often.
What material is that?
They're aluminum. They're mostly aluminum. They used to be wooden. Yes. And I know we've talked a few times. I know there's some new counselors. I'll touch base with a few of you and even some of the counselors that have been on to come over to the department, to my office, so I can go and walk you through all these different components. And it's a lot of complex things going on, but I want to make sure you have a full understanding of everything. So,
Thank you. I think we're also going to want to dress up and ride in the fire truck, just as an FYI.
We'll be ready for you to come do that. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Wait, Chief, while we're on the ladders, I just wanted to, I think you spoke on it a year or two ago. I'm not sure if anything was ordered from then. I can't remember, but just wondering if any of the new ladders will be suitable for like the situation with the hotel, that it was too tall. Just thinking because we have all of these new developments being
Yep.
built and they're, multi-levels.
Yes, so these ladders are, we could probably get to four stories with our biggest ladder safely. The rest of the ladders around the fire trucks are ladders that are our bucket and our straight stick, hydraulic ladders. We would use those that are on top of the fire trucks. They are actually mounted to the fire truck. So the ground ladders are for rescuing people out of windows and those types of things. Anything on elevated floors over 4 stories, we're using the ladders on top of the fire truck.
So was there an order last year or so for an apparatus specifically for higher?
The 110-foot ladder, yes.
Yeah,
So that's just, these are like a ground ladder like you would have in your house, like an A-frame, or you might have a straight ladder, or you might have an extension ladder. There's two different types. Those are aerial ladders that are actually affixed to the apparatus.
Okay.
So any of the high-rise and even 110-foot, if there's a building that's higher than that, we have to manually go in and do all the work. Sometimes the ladders aren't helpful, depending on how big the building is and where the event is in that building.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Chief.
Are you all set?
Yep.
Okay. Item 39, Councilor Monto.
Thank you, President Paniagua. 39 will be held for a committee meeting on Friday at 12.
Councilor Williams.
Thank you, Madam President. I have items 40 through 43. Item 40 is the agreement with Mosaic that we had a committee meeting about yesterday. We'll work with the administration to figure out a plan moving forward with that. 41 will be in...
Counselor, just one update on the
Thank
Mosaic
you.
contract. Just did want to confirm, so the funds for that project have already been approved with the prior iterations of payroll modernization, so that we had 6.25 million approved. We've spent down 3.7 million, so we still have about 2.5 million available in that project, so we aren't asking for any more funding. And then additionally, just in the letter, it says it's expiring March 2027. This would be an 18-month contract, so then that would, go through about June or July of 2027. So, thank you.
Oh, Mike, wait a second. So clear that up for me. So you're saying what you'd be asking us to do with this, instead of spending additional money, we would be approving the contract, spending money that's already approved. So
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Mike, do we have to, if money already approved, why do we have to approve it?
Contract.
We need
switching
to approve the
vendors?
contract.
We're approving the contract.
Yeah.
Determine the contract ended or something?
Yeah.
Well, we haven't entered into a contract
we
with
haven't gotten
Mosaic.
into
We're
a
looking to
contract
enter
with,
into a contract. with
That's what we're
Mosaic.
having the discussion.
So we would need new requests upon that, wouldn't we, Joe? Because I'm kind of confused.
Yeah, because I think this item was originally introduced, I think, in October or maybe September of 25. So it's an 18-month contract. So really, once it's an inception, then we're looking at 18 months from there.
So I think we're gonna need another request letter because basically you're asking to use a previous funds in an account already. So you enter an agreement with this company here. We're waiving the RFP process, or?
No, we did an
Okay.
RFP.
All right, so we enter into a contract with this person here to use money in accounts such and such, such and such.
Yep.
Okay, so that's what we're gonna do.
Great.
In a new time frame.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. 41 will be discussed in executive session.
Is that today, or when are we doing that? Do we want to do it today?
It's always today.
Yeah. So only, whichever. It's
Yep.
It's on Wednesday.
Wednesday? Okay.
And 42.
Good afternoon, Councilors. Dave Proack, Director of IT. Asking for your permission to proceed with item number 42. The vendor we've done business with for 6, 8, 10, 12 years. Just that we're buying more licenses now because the police department is adopting it as well. So the purchase price is going over the annual public bid limit. So they asked us to issue an RFP. We're already purchasing it from the only vendor in the area that offers it. So we're asking for permission to waive the RFP process and continue using these guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Afternoon, all. Matt OJ, Commissioner of Assessment. We've got some role corrections to request. Primarily, this is, and I don't want to go too far down a technical rabbit hole. We've got this railroad question. There's two types of railroads in New York State: sealing and non-sealing. This particular railroad was classified for years as non-sealing. The state dictates this. After this roll year, the state changed its mind, so to speak, and has reclassified the railroad, which means we need to change the roll for all these properties and make them exempt. They still pay on the partial exemption, but the ceiling is a level beyond which they would not pay. Should the assessed value exceed the state dictated ceiling, the railroad would then be exempt on the delta beyond that. I apologize if that explanation made things muddier.
Changes in the role, not financial.
I could have saved a couple words, yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Madam President.
Councilor Jones-Rouser.
Thank you, Madam President. I have item 44 through 50. Item 44 is still being held?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Jake's been holding it
All
for a
right,
while.
so it's still being held. We're waiting on New York State. So 45 through 50.
Good afternoon, councilors. Kaylin Hubbard, neighborhood planner with MBD. 45 is different. It's an amendment to an ordinance. So 102 Elmhurst, that was already approved. There was a structure on the lot when it was approved, but it has since been demoed. So that's amending the ordinance to reflect vacant land now. And then 46 through 50. So 46 and 49 are both requests for transfer. Those would create building lot sites in both current and future housing strategy areas. And then 50, 47, and 48, these are properties that have been through multiple cycles of our foreclosure process. Law was about to close and then realized that we didn't have an ordinance from Common Council to be able to fully close on it. So it would be the last step that we would need to complete the foreclosure on these 3 properties. Each of them are vacant residentials, have been vacant for, I think one was occupied in 2023. The other 2 have been vacant for nearly a decade now at this point. But all 3 are now vacant in some pretty severe disrepair.
Okay. We didn't discuss these ones, so we'll have to.
We can meet if you'd like on that one.
All right, any questions so far? Thank you, Caitlin.
Thank you.
Are you all set? All right. Councilor Monto.
Thank you, President Paniagua. I have items 51 and 52. We're going to hold 51. Councilor Williams and I have some financial questions on that one. 52 will be held for a committee meeting on Friday at 12 o'clock. And I'm set.
Okay. So we're going to go into executive session and we need a motion. To discuss the legal item, settlement.
So moved.
Second.